What's up, YouTube? So this is going to be part one, or technically basically like an explanation of what this build is going to be. So this will be a series. The series is going to be called Turbo IS300 Starter Kit. Now the reason why I call it Starter Kit, because with a little disclaimer, this is for people that are just looking for, you know, just a little bit more power out of their car or their IS300. And they're not trying to break the bank, you know, trying to do all the turbo stuff and all that. Of course, you're supposed to do it the right way, which I will. But for now, I just want a little bit of power, because my goal is to drift the car to, you know, have a little bit more power, but at the same time, don't have so much power to the point that I can't control the car or be able to learn and progress properly as a driver. So what this build will consist of is a bone stock motor. Unfortunately for my case, I have a bunch of maintenance to do, because mine actually ended up having a blown head gasket. And I actually found out that the coolant passages in the block were actually completely blocked off, like completely blocked off with carbon buildup. So for those of you that have a healthy 2J GE motor in your car, all you need is just everything to deal with a turbo. Turbo, manifold, oil lines, maybe a sandwich plate for the turbo feed, and then the AFR gauge and boost gauge. That's pretty much all you'll need. Everything else could be stock injectors and all that, because what you're going to do to make it all come together is you're going to wire up the heater and O2 sensors to run off of just the first O2 sensor on bank 1. Bank 1 sensor 1, O2 sensor.
Alright, so we just did the ECU for bank 1, sensor 1. I already spliced in the signal. This one here is the heater, as what that guy said to do. So I'm gonna tidy it up, and we're gonna start and see what happens.
So what that would do, that'll prevent you from running any codes, and then that'll also allow the car to actually run normally and properly, and the ECU will compensate up to 5 psi of boost, and it'll run it healthily and reliably. Now, I've actually learned about this from a guy named Nico IS300 on Instagram, who actually hit me up and told me about his build and how he actually taught somebody else how to do it, and it works out for them as well. Then there's also a guy in the forums named I think it's Andrew, a guy named Andrew. I can't remember what his actual like tag was in the forum, but he also was pretty much the founder of doing this in the forums. So basically what the build is going to consist of: running off a stock ECU. For the time being, I do have a piggyback, but I was running off a stock ECU for a little while, and then when I'm ready, I'll set it all up to make more boost, or even just build my secondary motor, and then shoot for about 600 horsepower. So in terms of progress with my IS300, I pretty much tore down the motor. All I've done is pretty much taken all the timing loose and then remove the cylinder head. I actually have a spare cylinder head that I'll probably make like 3 of them now. One from my old motor, my spare, which has already been machined and pressure tested, and then the one off of this motor. So, like I said earlier, when I actually took the head gasket off, I found out that obviously before I even got the motor, they probably already had a blown head gasket, because they had a ton of carbon buildup in all of the coolant passages. The majority of the coolant passages were completely blocked off. But surprisingly enough, you know, I haven't ran the car very long at all. I probably only driven it like 100 miles since I got it back up running, and it had only like a little bit of coolant like inside the cylinder head. But in terms of that, I have ARP head studs I'm gonna put on there. I'm also putting the 3-layer steel twin turbo Supra head gasket, which will lower my compression just a little bit. And then now I'm sanding down the block, trying to get all the carbon off so I can get a good seal with the gasket, and then I'm gonna put my spare cylinder head on there. and then I'll get into doing all the turbo stuff. And I haven't been filming the head gasket things because that's just, I guess it could be like filler content if I wanted to, but I just want to kind of get that done because it's just maintenance, and I just want to get straight into the actual turbo stuff to show you guys, you know, what I'm going to do. But for the most part, that's all I had to say for this video. Just let you guys know what's going on, what's the plans. So you should like, comment, subscribe, and of course, you know, subscribe if you want to see how this build is going to go out and learn, and see if you can learn a thing or two. You know, just a little basic setup for those of you that also have IS300s, SC300s, and GS300s. Instead of breaking the bank, you do this real quick. You know, just have a little bit of fun for now, and then when you want to get serious, you can do the fuel return, upgraded fuel injectors, and the whole 9 yards. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.